可我生来就倔强，是热烈的骄阳，飘向着逆风的方向，拼命翱翔。若是黑暗敢抵挡，变作撕破夜的光。我在属于我的舞台之上，无畏绽放。可我生来就倔强，是热烈的骄阳，飘向着逆风的方向，拼命翱翔。若是黑暗敢抵挡，变作撕破夜的光。我在属于我的舞台之上，无畏绽放。
从韩国来的人给我来句话，他是黑社会的，他是日本山口组，不服试试呗，会让我的对手记住什么叫低调。出了国，你要记住低调。
这绝对是你见过最狂妄的日本人，在发布会上毫无征兆直接将水瓶砸向中国选手，被工作人员拉开后，这家伙还死咬着不放，一脸嚣张地指着中国选手的鼻子，口吐芬芳，难听又刺耳的脏话，完全不顾及公开场合和现场媒体。然而这样的事情对他来说是轻车熟路，在将中国选手 KO 之后，这家伙丝毫不讲武德，竟用手指着倒地的中国小伙极尽羞辱，根本不顾及别人的感受。之后便多次在公开采访中大放厥词，公然嘲讽中国功夫和中国选手，不仅嘲笑中国功夫只是花拳绣腿，还破口大骂中国选手都是弱不禁风的东亚病夫，甚至还口出狂言要车轮战打10个中国人，一拳一个将中国选手全部打废，声称之所以跟中国人打比赛，就是因为能够拿到足够多的出场费。这个凶神恶煞的嚣张小日本，就是日本拳坛最狂妄的超级拳王山本一郎。凭借着强悍的实力和凶残的打法，纵横拳坛10余载。擂台上的他手段残忍，行为怪异，不是张牙舞爪挑衅对手，就是嘚嘚瑟瑟做搞怪动作。做他的对手输赢只是其次，能不能安然无恙走下擂台才是重点。嚣张的山本一郎不把任何对手放在眼里，也不知道何为尊重。可即使是在国际拳坛臭名昭著，也没人能把他怎么样。碍于其赫赫凶名和强大的实力，甚至没有几个人敢做他的对手。然而俗话说的好人狂有雨天狂有祸，出来混早晚是要还的。这次嚣张的山本一郎就踢到了真正的当板。中国摔跤悍将马克单刀赴会杀入东京，只为暴揍小日子还拳坛一片朗朗乾坤。来自内蒙的马克个子不高，但身体素质极强，从小跟随父亲练习摔跤，18岁就拿下了全国摔跤冠军。走上职业道路之后又学习了泰拳，彪悍的铁肘令所有对手闻风丧胆。今天打小日子更是在赛前签下了军令状，不破东营终不还。接下来就让我们看看马克如何暴揍嚣张的日本选手。望各位老铁多多点赞支持，祝大家一夜暴富。红方选手中国小伙马克，蓝方选手日本狂人山本一郎。比赛刚开始，日本选手就嘚瑟了起来，扭着屁股发起挑衅，如此行径彻底点燃了马克的怒火。他既然敢在赛前立下军令状，自然是做了充分的备战。走上擂台不把小日子干趴下誓不罢休。
He's a complete mixed martial artist, but Shinja Chochek is very dangerous. He's got heavy hands coming out of that southpaw stance, which we saw just like there. Beautiful uppercut 2 combination.
Yeah, Shincha has a lot better.
仗着身高优势，山本一郎根本没把马克放在眼里，张牙舞爪歪头挑衅，嘴里还不断狂吠骂骂咧咧，那无法无天的神情实在太欠揍了。
So he's going to do some big counters, and that's exactly what he's doing.
We're going to simplify Shinchek's name, and we'll just call him Shine from this point on because, wow, he's putting on, look at these angles, look at him taunting Mark Abalado, saying, come on, bring it, it's time to throw down, let's put on a show here and sing.
好好的格斗比赛被这家伙搞得乌烟瘴气，很多人看不惯他，却又干不掉他，只因他的实力毋庸置疑的强大。马克敢点名向他发起挑战，很多人都佩服他的勇气，但更多人却是等着看他的笑话。只不过那些黑子们今天要被打脸了，因为中国人从来不打没准备的仗。
Has to be really careful of doing too much showboating. He's caught that leg though, and he's quite happy to rolling forward to get Mark to the mat.
眼看着马克被击倒在地，日本选手洋洋得意，居高临下做着各种嘲讽动作。然而马克的蹬腿防守让山本一郎找不到任何突破口，小日本干着急白瞪眼，就像一只气急败坏的疯狗一般。
No up kick to the head, that is. So Mark might want to try and get up.
Wow, being taunted there, it looked like.
Yes,
Entertainment.
Shine Chakchak is a definite highlight reel waiting to happen. He is extremely entertaining, flamboyant, flashy, talking all sorts of trash. But I don't know if Mark can understand him, but either way, he's an entertaining fella.
Yes, he's as tricky as his name is to pronounce.
Indeed.
日本选手嘚瑟了半个回合，终于被马克找到机会拉入了地面。摔跤手出身的马克断然不会让他再站起来，而日本选手也确实有2把刷子，用手臂死死地锁住马克的脖子，只不过单臂的力量还不足以造成威胁。
Position. Now, you know, Shincha's boxed in the Rio Olympics, which is quite something on his own. But I don't know what his grappling's like. He's controlling the position there by holding the veins and tendons in his left leg. So Mark is just stuck there. This is something I like to do, actually. And I think it's something that...
作为全国摔跤冠军的马克，进入地面那就是天高任鸟飞，海阔凭鱼跃。短暂的束缚对他来说不痛不痒，只要还处于地面，他就有信心创造奇迹。
That grip under his knee, Mark can't go anywhere.
I would assume he's just waiting for a stand-up here because he might not be that comfortable. I mean, but with a submission like this, or at least with a position hold like this, he's got to be somewhat inept at, like, you know, or just somewhat...
Yeah, he has to have some idea, right?
Yeah,
What's
he has
going
to.
on?
And it would...
马克掏腰子的手法非常娴熟，不一会儿的功夫，山本一郎的肋部就已经红肿。随后，马克直接将其抱起，重重的砸向地面。这一下也是让日本选手五脏六腑直接移位。马克坚持不懈地掏他腰子，被连续重击的小日子防守也出现了松懈。
So, you know, Shincha has that position, and he can just relax there because...
马克头部终于挣脱了出来，满腔怒火的他也等到了发泄的机会。那么这场比赛也就到此为止了。
He's going to start raining down some big shots, I'm sure. Mark's going to try and pass guard there. Shincha not letting that happen at all. Mark throwing in heavy left bombs. Now in Shincha's guard.
Wow.
Shin's just trying to avoid the damage. That seems to be where he's just... I mean, but I'm surprised we haven't gotten a stand-up.
马克蛮横的重拳和霸道的肘击丝毫不讲情面，劈头盖脸砸向小日子的狗头。山本一郎赛前狂妄嚣张的嘴脸，如今也变得狼狈不堪。那些嘲笑马克送人头的黑子也彻底被打脸。
To continue working, those elbows are going. Mark is now very comfortable, which he wasn't so much earlier. Now he's very happy doing ground and pound.
He was getting, you know, now...
此时的山本一郎犹如丧家之犬，被揍得狗血淋头。这才是大家爱看的格斗比赛，没有侮辱与挑衅，有的只是火力全开、拳拳到肉的对拼。
There's no offense coming back. He's just basically keeping him in closed guard. And when you just wrap your legs around your opponent like that, you're basically just holding them in the same position and letting them tee off on you. You gotta open up your guard.
此时比赛第一回合结束，山本一郎瘫坐在地上，狼狈至极。让我们再来欣赏一下这纯粹且精彩的打击。
Your butt pounded on, which is what happened here by Mark Avalado. And then after the takedown happened and he was able to get on top, it was...
相信大家刚刚也听到马克有一拳打在了地板上，听那个声音也能感受到这拳头有多重。狂妄自大的日本选手终于遭到了制裁，被马克打得头破血流，染红了半张脸。要不是结束的铃声响起，马克绝对会当场把他打进鬼门关。山本一郎有这样的下场，完全就是咎由自取，不值得任何人怜悯。
Camp Chang has waved it off in another huge...
此时医护人员正在给山本一郎治疗，由于伤势过重，血流不止，当场放弃了比赛。就这样，马克仅用1回合就 KO 日本选手拿下胜利，不仅把山本一郎打出了心理阴影，更是以一己之力让擂台恢复纯粹。他就是英勇无畏的抗日英雄。以上就是本期视频全部内容，大家认为马克这场比赛的表现如何？欢迎在评论区留言讨论，咱们下期再见。